Hey, what's up, fellas? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here, answering your questions again today. Question that I received this a bunch of times. Question is, were there any embarrassing stories that happened to you while you're in the major leagues? I thought about it for a while, and as far as on-field play, there really wasn't anything super embarrassing. I did miss. It wasn't a miss. I didn't get an error. My first game, there was a pop-up hit over my head that I was running back. Tried to kind of catch it over my head, couldn't really get there. The ball fell. I kind of stumbled. Will Venable was coming from center, and he kind of stumbled. The ball got past. I didn't catch it. Got past him, and saw the highlights the next morning, and it was Vin Scully saying, and that's why the Padres are the last place team in the league. Wow, that's embarrassing. And so I wasn't really embarrassed when it happened, but I guess after I watched it, I got a little embarrassed. Um, Anyways, that's not what I was making the video for. The actual embarrassing story that was a little bit embarrassing happened when we were on a trip to Washington, D.C. We were playing the Nationals. And let me back up for a second, kind of lay the groundwork for it. So when you're in the major leagues, you get like you get basically, you can get a family, not really a family pass. It's basically like a guest pass that most players will give to their wives. That basically allows them to get certain access to the stadium so they can go into I don't know if it's called the wives club or whatever it is, but they're basically able to go places that normal fans can't go. You're not able to get a bunch of these things. I think you only get one, right? And again, I'd just been called up, so I didn't know all the rules. I just knew that, after games, usually the wives would all be waiting in this like lounge area when, the players came out, when their husbands came out, they could see their wives, or sometimes the kids would be down there, whatever. And so I went to get one, and I wasn't married at the time. I had a girlfriend who's now my wife, and so I got her the card, gave it to her. Well, apparently my mom found out about this, and she wanted a card. But there were no moms in this room, at least not that I know of, so I didn't get her one. And so we're on the road, it's a few weeks later, we're on the road in Washington, D.C. I'm at the team hotel. I come down the stairs, or come down the elevator, come out, and I'm walking around, and all of a sudden I see my mom and Trevor Hoffman, who was our closer, one of the greatest closers of all time, sitting on a bench, and they're talking. And I'm like, why the hell is my mom talking to Trevor Hoffman? And so I just walked over and kind of tried to not act like I saw them. And I had to go that way. So then my mom got up and she was like, oh, hi. And so then I don't know, I just figured they were talking about the weather or something. So I went on my way, and I think we might have went out to eat before the game or something with my parents, and then went over to the field. And it wasn't until later that I don't remember where I was. I don't know if I was on the bus or at the clubhouse, whatever. But Trevor came over to me and he was like, "Hey, man," he's like, I think you should probably get your mom the family pass, or whatever it was called. I forget what it was called. And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure thing, man. Yeah, thank you. I'll make sure I get that for her. Thanks." And I walked away, and I was like, my freaking mom tattletaled on me that I didn't get her a pass to Trevor Hoffman, one of the greatest baseball players, greatest closers to ever live. He's in the Hall of Fame. And my mom seeked him out and told him to get that for me, or for her. That was a little bit embarrassing because, well, I guess I was only 21 or 20. I just turned 22 at the time, I guess. I was 22. And so I guess I was still relatively young, but it's very strange to have your mother go and tell a teammate that's 30, high 30s. I don't know, whatever. Very strange, very embarrassing story. By the way, Trevor Hoffman was like the nicest guy ever. Like I had a lot of really good veteran teammates when I got called up, but he might have been the nicest. Just like an amazing guy. Not many players would come and sit down and talk to a mom, although my mom probably cornered them, trapped them. But like I'd come out after games and stuff, and like he'd be sitting out like just chatting with my dad sometimes about like baseball and about like my college career and stuff. And it was just, I mean, you just don't think of major league guys doing that, especially guys that good. And I'd come on, walk out, and be like, "Hey, what were you doing?" And my dad would be like, "Oh, no, I was just talking to Trevor about stuff or whatever." And I was like, it was very weird. But my parents didn't do that with any other players, or my dad didn't, at least I don't think. But yeah, Trevor's just really, really good guy. His kids were always kind of around, running around, and just a good family. So, anyways, that's my embarrassing story of my time in the major leagues. Thanks to my mom. And to finish, I don't think I actually got her the pass because I'm still pretty sure you could only get one. So my wife got it, unfortunately, for my mom. So let me know if you guys have any more questions. Leave in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. Give the video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Share with all your friends. Also, check out our Instagram page, Antonelli Baseball, on our Twitter feed, Manny299, where I'm posting videos all the time for you guys. Check out the description box below, where I've put a bunch of links to books I've been reading that I think you guys will like, and also training tools we use with our players. Check out our website, AntonelliBaseball.com, where you can find out more info on how to work with us and play on our teams. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you later.